Okay, which is the industry that currently government is putting a lot of effort for this second takeoff?
I think should be the semiconductor.
Semiconductor. Do you know what aspect of which particular field of semiconductor that government is focusing on right now?
If I remember correctly, in the semicon that got the upstream and the downstream.
Yes.
And then previously our Malaysia is more focusing on the downstream, and then now they want to start on the upstream.
Yes, that's exactly. So, welcome to the Sembang AIoT channel today again. Today is very special. Both of us are in Penang, so that's why you see the background also different. So, very short catch up with the audience today. So, of course, semiconductor is a key thing. Okay, I want to highlight this book again. Yeah, this is second take-off strategies for Malaysia's economic resurgence by YB Liu Jin Tong. Okay, we have been going through several chapters, and then in each session of our sharing, I talk a little bit more about how this second take-off will be taking. Will be happening. And then, of course, why is it happening, or how is it happening? What does the government do, or what is the strategies that government put in place, how to move our economy to a greater height? That is the things that we're trying to share. So today is very special, and then we have a very short time before rushing to another place. Yeah. So we have a very short time,
yeah.
So maybe we would like to start with Ken Leong to share some of the previous event that he attended, and then what we want to know is from Ken Leong is what are the key things, especially for this event. Government also there's some government agency also putting in what they call their involvement in this organizing this event. So it's something to do with the tech hub. So this part, I think Ken Leong would like to share. But before that, I just read this part to you. Yeah. So this is chapter number 8 in this book, thinking strategically about Malaysia's semiconductor industry. Looks like government is putting a lot of effort in this semiconductor, And then just now you say the upstream, yeah. So the whole government, I think right now they are focusing in building what they call the IC design center. IC design center. But before we move on to your thing, I just want to share with you here right now. Intel founder, the late Gordon Moore. There's one. His name is Gordon Moore. Okay. So predicted that in 1965 that the number of components that could be fit in the microchip will be double every 2 years. Every 2 years. The number of components. So as you know, this is called becoming a Moore's law. Moore's law, where how a semiconductor can expand. So talking about that part in terms of IC design, there are several parts. ASIC design is one of them. Yeah, ASIC is an application-specific semiconductor kind of a design is one of them. And then they are also involving some FPGA, few array programmable logic thing, and then as you know also in the AI also, one of the company who do this FPGA also, for specific calculation for AI, that was using the FPGA. That's why in terms of development. Of this set of IC design, there are many rooms to go. Yeah, especially with these events of AI, in this AI era, more and more spatial IC need to be built, in order to handle certain things. Especially we want to handle more efficient and more low power and things like that. Yeah, that is the whole book was talking about. Today we have a very short time, so I will just cover that part first. Maybe Ken Leong would like to share a bit more on the event that he was attending the other day. Okay, maybe you can talk about that.
Okay, so today I will share the last two parts of the event. So this is the session number 7.
Yeah, session.
So this session number 7 is talking about the application of generative AI in the media industry.
Media industry.
So the media industry is related to the newspaper, the music, all the content creation things. So the speaker is from India, and he's one of he's from the newspaper background. So he mentioned that in India there are more than 100 of their language. So how did the newspaper industry able to cater everyone?
Okay.
So if let's say you use the Tamil is one of the language. So if let's say there are other readers in another language, so how they're going to do the translation very fast in a very short time? So before the generative AI, so they need to find someone who are very talented in language, and they only can do the translation, and this will take a lot of time. So now with the Gen AI, Gen AI can help them to do the translation. And then sometimes when they want to write some news, write some blog, and then they don't have the ideas, they can ask the Gen AI to give some idea to help them to give some to add more content. So this is how they think the AI can help them. But at the same time, they also worry about sometimes when the generative AI is being trained on some data set that is biased toward certain area. So sometimes Gen AI will generate something that is biased. So for example, maybe it's biased towards certain politics, certain parties. Then this will cause some unfair issue happen, unethical issue happen. So they need to pay attention to what the content generated by the generative AI as well.
Okay. So that is more about the content creation and how does the AI play the role.
Yes. So the AI is like an idea generator. So it generates some idea for the content creator to create more content.
So I'm sure for this part, for this part actually is very relevant in most of the people. I mean, daily life. Sometimes you also ask ChatGPT to suggest to you, right? That is partly is coming from this area. What will be the next?
So the next is that he foresee in the future. So there will be some integration between the AR, VR with the generative AI. So this one, when you have the VR or AR in the digital media, so the interaction between the human and the AI will become more, more realistic.
I see. Or AR and VR.
So when we put the generative AI element into the AR and VR, imagine you can interact with the AI inside in a virtual reality.
I see.
So this is something I think not yet ready now, but I think in the future it will be ready.
I see. Okay. That is a little bit too far, I think. A bit too far. Okay. So having talked about that part, I think So maybe you can also proceed from there.
Okay. So another session. So the last session. So usually the last session, people will do some forecasting, try to do some prediction what will happen in the future. So the last session is a crystal ball session. And then as the speaker, actually that one is a panel discussion. So one of the panel say, I remember he say, he forgot to bring a crystal ball today to show to everyone. So actually this topic is talking about the emerging opportunity of the big data big tech, data, and the AI. So how the AI will affect the different industry, especially in the energy industry, the fintech, and the Southeast Asian market.
I see. I see. So that's why he said he didn't bring a crystal ball. So he actually cannot predict anything will happen, with this with the events of this AI.
Yes. So actually, they're also not very sure what will happen in the future. So they just voice out their own personal opinion.
I also think the same. Talking about this AI, because we really don't know what is going to do, because based on what I have discussed with Ken Leong about several days ago, we were talking about NVIDIA, their development of their hardware platform, and what are GPU they are working. In fact, these are already in their pipeline, and some already ready. Some of them already ready to go. So the rest is depending on what are the applications they're going to fit in. There are a lot of possibility right now, and then a lot of this possibility can be realized, with the whether or not anybody would like to invest into that, and then it will turn out to be some real application, because those things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is another part.
Okay. So one of the panel is from the energy sector. So he mentioned that actually from the energy sector, every day they have a lot of data. So the data is not in gigabyte or terabyte. It's in the petabyte.
Oh.
So petabyte, I don't know how many zero in behind already. Okay. So that one is a lot. So they need with this amount of data, actually if you can use the AI to analyze this kind of data, it can give you a lot of information. But with the correct tools and the correct people to handle this thing, it can give you a lot of ideas and how you're going to plan the strategy for your company. Okay, but at the same time, they also face some challenge. So since you have a lot of data, where you're going to store your data, where to find the right person to handle this kind of data. So they're also facing the problem like short of talent to handle this kind of data, to do the data analytics, this kind of thing.
I see. I see.
Especially now the data center in Malaysia. So there are a few giant companies want to invest the data center to set up data center in Malaysia. So they also foresee this will bring a lot of opportunity in the future, and then this is something good for our country as well. Okay. So and then another panel is from the Fintech. So they see the rise of digital bank. So the digital bank in the future, actually not everyone very trust about the digital
I think digital bank is already there. It's already there. But then whether or not AI can enhance in their whole operation, maybe it's another thing. Yeah. So for example, previously there is cases that where some banks they actually use AI to do analytic, of course, but also they right now with the Gen AI they are able to like interviewing you in certain sense that where he want to get the data, then they can know what kind of credit limit that I can approve for you, something like that. That should be the way lah.
Yeah. So another one is more on the consumer side. Is sometimes they use the AI to help to protect the end user. So if there is some abnormal transaction happen, so they will, actually the AI will study your usually at what time you will make some transaction, you will do some purchasing, and then usually you will do the purchasing during the daytime, and then suddenly there's a transaction during the midnight. So the AI might suspect someone might stolen your ID or your password to make the transaction. So the AI maybe can block the transaction.
That is more on the AI being used in terms of security.
Yes.
In terms of security and also protection. Yeah. Yeah, actually there are many. If you come to think about it, more and more, you will find more and more application. Yeah. Okay.
And then the panel also mentioned about the super apps.
Super apps.
Super apps and buy now pay later service.
Buy now pay later. Okay.
Based on, I think a lot of e-commerce also offer this thing. You buy now and then you pay later.
Okay.
You receive the good first. Then after that, every month you pay by installment. Something like that.
But how does AI get involved in this part?
For this thing, they didn't talk about. They didn't relate it to the AI. So actually, most of their opinion is more related to how their own industry is going to emerge in the future.
Maybe it's related to the credibility of someone. He know you can spend. Right? The AI know that with your data, actually you can spend. I'll let you spend first. Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Then next, they talk about the investment and technology growth in Malaysia. So for example, the ICT growth, the data center, and then the cloud and data investment. So the major player like the Google, AWS, and Microsoft are investing heavily in Malaysia now. For the cloud infrastructure. So this also will lead to other sectors. For example, the green energy. So usually they want their data center to use the green energy. So the sector like the solar or other renewable energy sector, so they can get a benefit when they come to here set up the data center. Then next is the talent and the infrastructure. So the next we talk about the roles of AI in the regional development. So the AI in the financial service.
Yeah.
So for example, just now I mentioned the abnormal transaction, and then the credit risk assessment, and the personalized financial product. So all these things can be with the help of AI. The AI can help the banker to judge whether should I approve the loan to this person or not, and how much I should approve. So the rise of the super apps and the banking as a service platform. So it's expected to drive further innovation in the financial service across the region, particularly in the underbanked market like for example, they talk about the Philippines and the Indonesia. So they give some example like that. So, but on the other side, they also talk about the ethical issue, the ethical consideration and the responsible use of AI. So someone might misuse this thing, and then the data privacy and the AI governance also very important. So when AI can access this kind of information, does the privacy is being protected or not? So will there anyone use the AI to access your privacy information? So how the staff in that company, will they misuse your data or not through the AI? So all this kind of information, this kind of thing requires some regulation to control. So, and then the last is, they give some pros and cons of the AI across the industry. So for the pros is the AI can drive the productivity, can deliver personalized service, and offer valuable insight into the customer behavior and the operational efficiency. But the con side is the risk. So if the AI is being trained on a very poor quality data set, so the performance of the AI will not be good, the accuracy also not good. And then they also mentioned about the need for robust governance to avoid the unintended consequence in high-risk industry, like the energy and the finance.
I see. Okay. So very interesting sharing by the person and also by Kenyang also. So okay, today is a very short one, right? But just before you go, talking about the semiconductor, I just read this part to you lah. Yeah, I just read why is this semiconductor is also because of this. Yeah. So this is talking about Malaysia's semiconductor industry at a glance lah. So electrical and electronics product E&E, okay, as you know, as a part of our some of the government grant that you can see also they are more focused in providing more and more grant or funding or subsidy to some of the E&E sector, you know. So this E&E sector comprises about 7% of our Malaysia GDP growth, about 7%. Yeah. So with the semiconductor devices and electronics integrated circuit alone making up a quarter of total export of 2/3 of E&E export. So semiconductor actually is taking up a 2/3 of the whole E&E export. It means semiconductor alone. You know lah, Intel lah, AMD lah, and all those people lah. So total about 387 billion in the export value of 2022. Yeah. So almost about 10%, you know, the E&E, and then 2/3 of them is contributed by a semiconductor. Yeah, that is, I think, why, you know, in this second takeoff, you want to do something very quick. You want to build something, you have to push something that you already have. For example, semiconductor is one of them. That's why. And then also, for that part, actually I talked to one of our friends. So he was in this industry for a very long time. He was also ex-Intel, you know. So he also mentioned that in the next 2 or 3 years, more and more European or American or Western type of company, they will be moving out from China, you know. But maybe not all, you know, but then the percentage is quite high that in 2 to 3 years time, this thing will be moving. So that means it will be somehow contributed, it will be somehow contribute to Malaysia economy take off, of course. That is one of them. So I think, yeah, so we look forward to a greater take off from there, of course. So we have a very short sharing today. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for watching our this Sembang AIoT. You know, I hope to catch up with you with the more content or more sharing in the next coming session again. So I will see you again in the next session. Bye bye.